The holiday season is upon us, which means that it's a big travel weekend across the United States. And, of course, we have a cross-country storm system that is currently ongoing in portions of the desert Southwest that will be continuing to move through the country throughout the week. So let's take a look here at this weekend and how your travel plans will be impacted by this storm. Starting off with our wintry side of this storm. This is our Winter Storm Severity Index posted by the Weather Prediction Center, and this basically outlines how the storm, all types of winter precipitation, this includes snow, sleet, and freezing rain, will impact travel and everyday life in these areas. So we're going to be focusing on these yellow, orange, and red areas. In yellow, those are your minor impacts because of wintry weather. In orange, those are moderate impacts, and in red, those are your major impacts. The bright side here is that much of this area is yellow, which means that that's going to be minor impacts, which should not completely shut down travel, as well as those oranges in very select areas. Those areas could be seeing some slowdowns, especially on the roads in portions of Colorado leading into Denver and across portions of Nebraska and South Dakota. The reds, those major impacts, are mostly going to be held to the highest elevations of the Rocky Mountains. So unless you are going skiing this weekend, it does not seem like it's going to be as bad as things could have been if things were a little bit colder. We are abnormally warm across the United States this week due to many reasons in the Pacific, a very strong Pacific jet stream keeping things a little bit more moderate in those temperatures for right now. But as we look to the wet side of this storm system, we have plenty of rain to go around. This is all precipitation. This includes that snow, that sleet, that freezing rain. But this is our 72-hour precipitation outlook. This goes through 7 p.m. on Monday. That's in Eastern Standard Time. But we could be seeing some flooding impacts here. Over 2 inches of rain is expected in the next 72 hours across the Gulf Coast from Houston through Pensacola, Florida, as well as an inch plus expected across many of the southern states and the Central Plains. So the Mississippi River Valley in general will be seeing a lot of rainfall through this weekend. So let's take a look at this storm here. This is the NAM, and we are going to be just tracking out this storm. So right now we're starting here. This is Friday. We're going to be seeing this storm system right here in the desert Southwest, bringing plenty of rainfall to areas such as Arizona, Southern California, and then moving into Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico, bringing more of that wintry side of things. We also have this other piece of energy here moving into Montana that is also going to be bringing in that more northern, cold side of things. And we are going to see these two pieces of energy kind of combine and form this more robust storm system here. And as this storm system continues to develop, we have another low pressure developing in Texas. Now that is going to be drawing in that Gulf moisture, and that is going to be providing much of the moisture needed for that 2 inches of rainfall here along the Gulf Coast. But as this storm progresses through, now we're into early Sunday, we are going to be seeing in those reds there, that is freezing rain. Now that's rain that falls on the ground and freezes on impact. These are the areas that I would look out for most when talking about this storm system, because these are the areas where that travel will be heavily impacted. Even if there's a very slight glaze of ice on the ground, that could mean a ton of traffic delays and potential for car accidents on those roads. So definitely be careful here in portions of eastern South Dakota, and much of Minnesota will be seeing some sort of ice over the next 84 to 96 hours. So taking a look on the western side of things here, mostly going to be that light to moderate snowfall. Doesn't seem like we are going to be seeing a strong enough low pressure system to bring in blizzard conditions, which are very common in the northern plains, but we will be seeing just enough snow to cause some sort of traffic delays in the Dakotas here on Sunday. This is right around, call that 1 p.m. Eastern, so noon Central Time. Now, as we progress through Sunday and into Monday morning, we see this low pressure system across Arkansas that will be bringing much of that moisture to the Mississippi River Valley, and continuing to move through, you can see some more ice in Minnesota and Iowa as that secondary low pressure from Texas begins to take over. and we are going to be seeing some more heavy snow in portions of Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Now, this is Monday night into Tuesday that we will be seeing that. That is a stronger low pressure system, and that will be bringing in much more of that wintry precipitation. And then we have another low pressure system. This is a very jumbled storm system, and this low pressure system will be taking over towards the end of next week, and that's when we're going to be looking at northeast impacts towards the New Year's holiday. So overall, what are we looking at here for the travel weekend? We're looking at plenty of impacts in the central portion of the U.S. Now, the West Coast just got plenty of impacts from this storm system. Southern California has plenty of flooding issues going on currently due to up to 10 inches of rainfall falling in the Southern California area, especially in those higher elevations. And that same flooding risk has moved into the desert Southwest. And as we continue throughout this storm system through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we switch to more of a wintry side of things with snow across the Intermountain West, but we have a developing low pressure in the south, bringing heavy rainfall to portions of the Gulf Coast and the Mississippi River Valley. So I hope this video helped you plan out your weekend, what to avoid, what maybe to try instead. I would recommend, if you are planning on going coast to coast, obviously the best option there would be flight. But if you are making any trips to the central portion of the United States, especially in the northern tier of the country, especially Minneapolis, that area, to do it as soon as possible before this storm system really gets into the region, starts dropping that ice on the ground. So I hope everyone has the happiest of holidays, and I will see you guys again soon.